Iain Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @CueanReview. That is @CueandReview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@cueanreview.com. That is INFORMATION @CueandReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast is recorded from the paper published on Tuesday, 24th of December 2024, and is read to you by Iain. An information message. Community response teams. In East Bartonshire, there are 3 community response teams. These are teams of local volunteers who can provide assistance, including help with shopping and transport. Did you know your local community response/support team will have a new number from the 16th of December 2024? G66 Community Response. G66 Community Response @gmail.com. That's G66 COMMUNITY RESPONSE @gmail.com, and the phone number is 0141 212 2769, and they're available between 10 AM and 4 PM. And for Bishopbriggs, G64 Community Support, G64community @gmail.com. That's G64 COMMUNITY @gmail.com, and their phone number is 0141 724 2211, and they're available between 9 AM and 4 PM. G61.G62 Community Response. G61.G62 Community Response @gmail.com. That's G61.G62 COMMUNITY RESPONSE @gmail.com, and their telephone number is 07774 970 280, and you can reach them between 9 AM and 5 PM. We hope you find this information useful. Anger as waspy women are left high and dry. Report by Kevin Roberts. Eastern Bartonshire politicians have condemned the Labour UK government's decision to deny waspy women any compensation, despite the Ombudsman report recommending compensation of between £1,000 and £2,950. The Women Against State Pension Injustice, WASPI, campaign seeks fair and fast compensation for the 1950s women affected by the changes to the state pension age. They are not against equalisation, but do not accept the unfair wage changes were implemented, often with inadequate or no notice at all. Around 3.9 million women were affected by this change, including an estimated 4,700 women in Eastern Bartonshire. However, Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall said the UK government would not pay out any compensation, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer defended the decision, insisting that the taxpayer simply can't afford the tens of billions of pounds in payments. He also claimed that 90% of those impacted knew about the changes that were taking place. That's angered many campaigners and opposition politicians, as well as many Labour MPs and MSPs who backed the WASPy campaign in the lead up to this year's general election. Mid Dunbartonshire's Liberal Democrat MP Susan Murray said, "The Tories let down the WASPy when they were in government, and it's sad to see Labour carrying on from where they left off. Many pension-age women across Mid Dunbartonshire will find it hard to trust this government again. Alongside my Lib Dem colleagues, I'll continue to fight for the WASPy women to make sure they get what they deserve." Rona Mackay, SNP MSP for Strathkelvin and Bearsden, also hit out at the UK Labour government for leaving the WASPy women high and dry. She said, "This is a complete betrayal by Labour, who, while in opposition, promised the WASPy women they would get their compensation. I am gutted for all the women who have been lied to. Yet another shameful display from Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. They have been shown in their true colours." And Marie McNair, SNP MSP for Clydebank and Mulgai, commented, "I am absolutely appalled by this decision by the Labour government. Yet again they have betrayed pensioners. Despite the Ombudsman being clear that compensation was required, the Labour government has ignored this and betrayed WASPy women who have worked tirelessly their whole lives and who have been left struggling to make ends meet. WASPy women deserve much better. My colleagues and I in the SNP will continue to stand with them and push for compensation." Angela Madden, chairwoman of WASPy, said the UK government has made an unprecedented political choice to ignore the clear recommendations of an independent watchdog, which ignored ministers urgently to compensate WASPy women 9 months ago. Ms Madden added, "This is a bizarre and totally unjustified move, which will leave everyone asking what the point of an ombudsman is if ministers can simply ignore their decisions." And that report was written by Kevin McRoberts and read by Iain McKenna. This Week in History. December 26, 1974, American comedian Jack Benny died. On this day last year, the UK experienced its hottest Christmas in almost a decade, as temperatures above 14 degrees Celsius were recorded in some parts of the country. December 27, 1965, the Seagem oil rig collapsed in the North Sea. 13 died. On this day last year, a nearly 21-foot bronze statue of singer Shakira was unveiled in her hometown in Colombia. December 28, 2009, at least 25 people were killed and dozens were injured in a suicide bombing on a Shia procession on the day of Ashura in Karachi, Pakistan. On this day last year, the UK's seabird population has suffered a devastating impact from bird flu, with thousands of animals lost during the year, the Wildlife Trust's annual roundup revealed. December 29, 1972, Life magazine ended publication after 36 years as the leading weekly pictorial magazine. It restarted quarterly issues in 1974. On this day last year, at age 86, prolific author Gilly Cooper, known for the raunchy Rutshire Chronicles, was made a dame in New Year's honours lists. December 30, 1979, Richard Rodgers, one of the world's best-known composers of musicals, died in New York aged 77, with Oscar Hammerstein, Hero Carousel, South Pacific, The King and I, and The Sound of Music. And that was This Week in History, as published on the 25th of December. Still the game for a giggle? Report by Kevin Roberts. Plenty of laughs will be served up when Scottish telly's best-known barman takes to the stage at Kirkintilloch Town Hall next March. Gavin Mitchell, aka Bobby from hit TV show Still Game, will have patrons in high spirits with behind-the-scenes anecdotes, memories, and rib-tickling tales. The acclaimed actor and comedian became a household name playing Bobby, the barman, across 9 series of Still Game, spanning 62 episodes, 21 years, and a record-breaking run of live shows at the Oval Hydro in Glasgow. Along the way, he received the Best Actor award at the 2019 Scottish Comedy Awards. Look Who It Isn't, an audience with Gavin Mitchell, will take place in Kirkintilloch Town Hall on Saturday, March 25th. General admission tickets and a limited number of VIP meet and greets are now on sale. As well as Still Game, an enduring favourite on BBC and Netflix, Gavin has also starred in TV shows such as Happy Holidays, Monarch of the Glen, The Field of Blood and Velvet Soup, as well as films including Outlaw King and Being Human. Look Who It Isn't will take the audience on a journey through more than 30 years of theatre, film, TV and radio, packed with anecdotes, insights and a barrel load of laughs. There will also be a chance to ask the Scottish showbiz star questions. Gavin said, "I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to share stories from my glorious career while spilling the beans on all the behind the scenes gossip from Still Game. It's going to be an unforgettable experience for the fans, and for me as well." Councillor Jim Gibbons, Chair of Eastern Bartonshire Leisure and Culture, EDLC Trust, which operates Kirkintilloch Town Hall, said, "We are looking forward to a memorable night as we welcome Gavin into our historic venue. This follows hot on the heels of the sellout show featuring fellow actor Paul Riley, who played Winston in the Still Game, at the Town Hall last month. Look out for more events coming soon." The show starts at 7:30pm on Saturday, March 15, and there will be a licensed bar. Doors open at 6:30pm for pre-event refreshments. The recommended age is 14 and above. You can book tickets online. And that report was by Kevin Roberts. Vandalism charges. A 17-year-old has been arrested and charged in connection with a number of vandalisms in Kirkintilloch and Lenzie. In October and November, a number of business premises were spray painted. The total cost of the damage caused is estimated to be in excess of £5,000. The 17-year-old is expected to appear at Glasgow Sheriff Court at a later date, and inquiries remain ongoing. PC Ryan Corey said, "The impact of these vandalisms on both communities has been substantial both in terms of financial losses to businesses and the negative effect of the wider visual appearance of both town centres. Extensive liaison with both local businesses in both areas led to identifying the youth in connection, and inquiries continue to identify anyone else involved." And the article was unattributed. Long waits for a permanent home. West Scotland MSP Pam Goswell says the SNP are presiding over disgraceful waits in relation to temporary accommodation in Eastern Bartonshire. Responses to Freedom of Information requests by the Scottish Conservatives have revealed the waits being faced by children and adults, with Ms Goswell saying they should be a source of shame for SNP ministers. In Eastern Bartonshire, a child spent an appalling 701 days in temporary accommodation, while an adult also endures a 856-day stay without a permanent home. Ms Goswell said that inaction from SNP ministers had led to a housing emergency in Eastern Bartonshire, and that they are detached from the reality facing many families and individuals. She added that the SNP needed to change its current housing approach and ensure that nobody is left languishing in temporary accommodation. "These waits are absolutely disgraceful and should be a source of shame for SNP ministers," she said. "Far too many children and families in Eastern Bartonshire are spending a shocking amount of time in temporary accommodation which is often wholly unsuitable to be living in. The buck stops with the SNP. Their inaction in tackling housing shortages has led to this emergency situation, yet they're still detached from the reality facing people in East Dunbartonshire. It is time for them to accept their current approach isn't working and outline new plans that will stop people in East Dunbartonshire languishing in temporary accommodation. And the author of that article is unattributed. Driver's view on iconic train routes earns photographic prize. A Bishopbriggs train driver has been named runner-up in a competition to capture images along the route of an iconic overnight train. The Caledonian Sleeper photography competition called on participants across the UK to share images of their favourite view from their journey or specific locations on the train's routes between London and Aberdeen, Inverness and Fort William, and Glasgow and Edinburgh. Gordon Seller picked up the runner-up prize for his beautiful driver's eye shot of Rannoch Moor. Mr. Seller is a driver with West Coast Railways and was on a line patrol locomotive running in front of the Fort William portion of the Caledonian Sleeper when he was able to stop to take his photograph. Mr. Seller was awarded a £250 Amazon voucher for his shot. The overall winner was Duncan McAvoy from York, who pictured the South Esk Viaduct in Montrose. And that article is unattributed. It's a record payout for credit union. Article written by Ailish Smith. Glasgow Credit Union has announced a record £4.6 million return to its members following the approval of a 3% annual dividend at its annual general meeting. Almost 90% of the credit union's profits for the year have been returned to members, marking it as its most successful year and highest ever dividend payout in the credit union's 35-year history. More than 62,000 members of the credit union will share in the historic payout, with the average payment amounting to approximately £74 per adult member. This year's dividend comes as a much needed financial boost, particularly during challenging times for many households. The payout has already been credited directly to members' accounts, ensuring that the financial benefit is immediately available. In addition to the adult members benefiting from this dividend, over 1,000 junior members will also share in the distribution, with an average payment of £50, further promoting Glasgow Credit Union's commitment to supporting the financial well-being of all members, regardless of age. Colin Gailey, Chief Finance Officer at Glasgow Credit Union, said, "This year's member dividend is the highest amount issued in our history, underscoring our strong business performance and the resilience of our business model. We are proud to be able to reward our members' loyalty, particularly during a time when many are facing a significant financial challenge." Glasgow Credit Union was founded in 1989 to provide savings and affordable loans, and now serve residents and workers in the G, PA, KA, ML and FK postcode areas, becoming one of the largest credit unions in the UK. Throughout its history, it has given back more than £49 million in dividends and interest rebates to its members. As a mutual organisation, Glasgow Credit Union operates a unique model where profits are reinvested to serve its members. Members contribute to the credit union by saving, which in turn supports affordable loans back to its members and credit union investments. And that article was written by Ailish Smith. Nursery donates to food bank. Children at Clayton's Early Years Centre in Bishopbriggs and their families have been supporting people in need this festive season. They have donated a fantastic 142.35 kilos in food and drinks to East Dunbartonshire's Christmas Food Bank appeal. Volunteers at the centre were delighted with another successful year of donations from the nursery. Clayton's EYC provides early learning and childcare services for babies and children aged 0 to 5 years. The service is provided by East Dunbartonshire Council. That article was unattributed. Accessible Carnival. Report by Kevin McRoberts. Scottish Autism, Scotland's largest autism-specific charity, will be working with QD Events, the organiser of the Irn-Bru Carnival, to look at improving the accessibility of the event. The Irn-Bru Carnival is Europe's largest indoor fun fair, a staple of Glasgow's festive season for over 100 years, offering a variety of thrilling rides, games and family-friendly attractions. There will be specific autism-friendly sessions at the carnival on Tuesday, December the 31st, between 11am and 2pm, and Monday, January the 6th, between 4pm and 9pm. During the 2024-5 run of the carnival, Scottish Autism will attend to gather feedback from autistic people and families attending the event to ascertain what they want to see being changed for the 2025-6 to make the event more accessible for them. Scottish Autism will use their My 5 campaign to ask visitors what 5 simple changes they would make towards a more accessible environment. Following this, Scottish Autism will work with QD Events throughout the 2025 to provide training, improve knowledge and understanding, and implement recommendations ahead of the 2025-26 event. Scottish Autism's External Learning and Consultancy Lead, Joanne Panes, said, "We are delighted to be working with QD Events as we look to support them in their mission to make the Irn-Bru Carnival as accessible as possible. We will be working with and alongside the autistic community to ensure that their voices are heard within that work. Over the next 12 months, we will be working with the teams to support them in exploring what could be changed to make the event more accessible, while increasing their knowledge and understanding." Margaret Cowan, Group Operations Manager at the Irn-Bru Carnival, said, "We are delighted to partner with Scottish Autism, who are advising on our autism-friendly sessions. Over the past 3 years, we've seen an increased demand for these sessions, showing their importance to the local community. We are grateful to Scottish Autism, who will support us in improving and evolving these sessions, helping autistic people and their families and those with sensory processing differences enjoy the Irn-Bru Carnival." And that report was by Kevin McRoberts. Anger as waspy women are left high and dry. Report by Kevin McRoberts. East Dunbartonshire politicians have condemned the Labour UK government's decision to deny waspy women any compensation, despite the Ombudsman report recommending compensation of between £1,000 and £2,950. The Women Against State Pension Injustice, WASPI, campaign seek fair and fast compensation for the 1950s women affected by the changes to the state pension age. They are not against equalisation, but do not accept the unfair wage changes were implemented, often with inadequate or no notice at all. Around 3.9 million women were affected by this change, including an estimated 4,700 women in East Dunbartonshire. However, Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall said the UK government would not pay out any compensation, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer defended the decision, insisting that the taxpayer simply can't afford the tens of billions of pounds in payments. He also claimed that 90% of those impacted knew about the changes that were taking place. That's angered many campaigners and opposition politicians, as well as many Labour MPs and MSPs who backed the WASPI campaign in the lead up to this year's general election. Mid Dunbartonshire's Liberal Democrat MP Susan Murray said, "The Tories let down the WASPI when they were in government, and it's sad to see Labour carrying on from where they left off. Many pension-age women across Mid Dunbartonshire will find it hard to trust this government again. Alongside my Lib Dem colleagues, I'll continue to fight for the WASPI women to make sure they get what they deserve." Rona Mackay, SNP MSP for Strathkelvin and Bearsden, also hit out at the UK Labour government for leaving the WASPI women high and dry. She said, "This is a complete betrayal by Labour, who, while in opposition, promised the WASPI women they would get their compensation. I am gutted for all the women who have been lied to. Yet another shameful display from Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. They have been shown in their true colours. And Marie McNair, SNP MSP for Clydebank and Mulgai, commented, I am absolutely appalled by this decision by the Labour government. Yet again they have betrayed pensioners. Despite the Ombudsman being clear that compensation was required, the Labour government has ignored this and betrayed Waspie women. Women who have worked tirelessly their whole lives and who have been left struggling to make ends meet. Waspie women deserve much better. My colleagues and I in the SNP will continue to stand with them and push for compensation. Angela Madden, chairwoman of Waspie, said the UK government has made an unprecedented political choice to ignore the clear recommendations of an independent watchdog, which ignored ministers urgently to compensate Waspie women 9 months ago. Ms Madden added, this is a bizarre and totally unjustified move, which will leave everyone asking what the point of an ombudsman is if ministers can simply ignore their decisions. And that report was written by Kevin McRoberts and read by Iain McKenna. Crafty Kids Festive Joy. Report by Kevin McRoberts. Some crafty children in Bishopbriggs have brought festive cheer to the residents of a local care home. Over 30 kids from the Magical Crafting Club showcased their creativity and kindness by making thoughtful Christmas cards using recycled materials. The youngsters then personally delivered their cards to the delighted residents of Mavis Bank Care Home. Joanna Craig, who runs the After School Craft Club in the Bishopbriggs Free Church, said, these beautiful, handcrafted cards were designed to bring joy to the local community while teaching the children the importance of giving back. In collaboration with Mavis Bank Care Home, a few children, their parents and I had the privilege of delivering these cards in person to the residents. It was a truly magical experience to watch the children interact with the residents, helping them open the cards and read out anything they had written inside. Each child had thoughtfully added their names and age on the back of the cards, creating a personal connection that made the gesture even more special. This project was a beautiful reminder of the power and creativity and community, and we are so proud of all the children who took part. Kate Cairns, Mavis Bank Care Home Manager, said the visit had benefits for both the children and the residents. She said, these visits are such a rewarding experience. Not only does it provide children with a new social interaction, but also helps to boost their self-esteem and confidence when residents interact with them. The residents are always happy to have children in the home. The visits bring joy to their life, and they are always smiling after the visit. The residents thought the children were so kind and thoughtful, especially our residents with no families of their own. This event highlighted the importance of fostering connections across generations, supporting local initiatives, and promoting kindness. And that report was by Kevin McRoberts. Schools Championships. Pipe up before entry deadline. Report by Julie Curry. The deadline for entries to the Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships 2025 is fast approaching. Schools have until January the 31st, 2025 to enter next year's championship event. All 8 competitions within the championships offer generous prizes, but the popular freestyle event tops the lot at £2,500, with the runner-up prizes totalling £3,250. The Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships is the largest event of its kind in the world. A record 73 youth pipe bands from across Scotland took part in the 2024 event, as well as 8 quartets and 17 freestyle ensembles. Hundreds of young musicians from 99 schools gave 83 performances. In addition to the freestyle event, the championship offers 6 graded competitions for pipe bands. For those new to competition, right up to bands playing at the top of their game. Piping quartets are also welcome. The 2025 event takes place on Sunday, March the 9th at the William McIlvenney campus in East Ayrshire. Although there are generous prizes for all the pipe band competitions, the freestyle event offers the biggest incentive, with the winners taking away £2,500 and runners-up receiving attractive increases in prize money with £1,500, £1,000, £750 and £500 respectively. The freestyle welcomes the school band and group performances of any musical genre, contemporary or traditional, with one combination of instruments and vocalists, as long as they include the pipes. It is designed to showcase the versatility of the pipes and to encourage their inclusion in mainstream music making in schools. Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust, the charity that organises the championships, believes in the transformative power of music and in the wider achievement that pupils can experience by being part of a pipe band. The charity helps state schools to sustain and set up piping and drumming tuition for their pupils, and lends pipes to pupils free of charge. Chief Executive Alex Duncan said, "The freestyle event celebrates the fact that pipers can play music of all genres, traditional and contemporary, alongside other instruments. For schools wanting to give this a go, we can lend concert chanters free of charge, so that the pipes can be tuned up to the same pitch as other instruments. We'd like to thank East Ayrshire Council for hosting the championships at the fabulous William McIlvenney campus in Kilmarnock again. With an impressive modern main stage arena that seats an audience of over 400 people, 2 more large performance spaces, 50 classrooms for changing, easy access for transport and parking, and excellent catering and exhibition space, the venue surpasses anything that we have seen in Scotland." More details on the championships can be found online. Schools Charity. The Scottish Schools Pipes and Drums Trust is a registered charity promoting the playing of pipes and drums in Scottish state schools. The charity offers cash grants for tuition and other related band costs, free bagpipe and B-flat, concert chanter loans, and paid trainee internships. It also organises the Scottish Schools Pipe Band Championships, the biggest schools piping competition in the world. The trust exists partly to protect and expand the country's musical heritage, but, arguably more importantly, to give young people an opportunity to develop a unique set of skills that will stay with them for life. To find out more, visit www.sspdpt.org.uk, and that report was by Julie Curry. Sports equipment donation will help improve health and fitness. Balmildy Primary School has received a quantity of sports equipment provided by the charity Allen Glen's 2012 Trust. The equipment includes athletics, hockey, touch rugby and volleyball kit, and will be usable by all of the school's pupils at breaks and lunchtime. Mrs. Grogan said, "The equipment will help develop sporting skills and encourage leadership and teamwork while making a positive impact on health, fitness and well-being. It is all part of the education of our young people, and we are grateful to Allen Glen's for this kind contribution." Allen Glen's, probably best known today for the rugby club in Bishopbriggs, was a secondary school in Glasgow which closed in the 1980s. The trustees of the 2012 Trust are mainly former pupils of the school and are keen to support primary education and sporting activities in the area surrounding their old school's playing fields. And that article was unattributed. Turnbull High School is going for reading gold. Report by Kim Jack, teacher of English, Turnbull High School. Do you know that reading for pleasure can be one of the most influential factors in academic achievement, good mental health and well-being? It can help you sleep better and understand other people more, apart from opening your mind to the world. At Turnbull High, we're setting our sights high. The Gold Scottish Books Trust Reading Schools accreditation is within our reach as we have been promoting the importance of reading for pleasure. Our leadership group is made up of teachers of different disciplines, classroom assistants and a number of pupils from various year groups working together to raise the profile of reading and share our love of the books we've read. We include the whole school community in our discussion of what we've been reading. Stopping in the corridor to discuss a book has become commonplace. As soon as someone enters our school, they can see a box of books they can read while waiting. Books for all ages that have been taken and returned. I think parents with young children appreciate the distraction of the books to keep their little ones relaxed and patient. So far, we've achieved the core and silver awards by making relaxing spaces for reading, engaging our young people in activities based around reading and reaching out to the community to encourage parents, families, caregivers and people who live and work in the area. You may have seen one of our signs in a shop or cafe, letting people know the business recognises the importance of reading for pleasure. We recently gave a number of families a chance to win a Scottish Book Trust book box containing 2 copies of a book and some treats to encourage people to share their reading and enjoy chatting about a book together. Celebrating and sharing the enjoyment we can all get from reading is something we believe is so important and can make such a difference in our lives. An easy way to start a conversation about books is to add, "I am currently reading" to the bottom of your emails from work or home. Why not try it? Perhaps read together or just make time for reading in your life and see the difference it can make. Our readers recommend Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, If This Gets Out, Granny Nothing, A Kind of Spark, The Breadwinner. And that article was written by Turnbull High School teacher of English, Kim Jack. Wednesday 25th of December 2024, family announcements. In memoriam, McLaughlin, Jerry. Loving memories of my dear husband Jerry, who died 11 years ago on December the 27th, 2013. Always in my heart, sadly missed, never forgotten. Love from Josephine and family. Monitoring and mapping our wastewater systems. Report by Julie Curry. Scottish Water has installed more than 1,000 new sewer monitors across its wastewater system. It is part of a £500 million programme of investment to transform the network and improve the country's water environment. The new monitors will help give unprecedented levels of information about how the wastewater network is performing, helping Scottish Water to avert flooding and pollution and plan targeted investments in future improvements. A new 15-strong dedicated team is now in place nationwide to take information from the monitors and work to proactively prevent flooding and pollution incidents which can be caused by blockages in the sewer network. The installation of the new monitors, with plans for a further 700 by the end of next year, comes ahead of Scottish Water's first online overflow map going live soon, showing the real-time data from its monitors. An interactive map, it will provide information on when an overflow is operating and where recent activity has occurred, using data gathered by the monitors. Professor Simon Parsons, Scottish Water's Environment and Planning Director, said, "The installation of the new monitors is a key milestone as we continue to invest in massive improvements to our wastewater infrastructure. When the online map is launched, it will enable our customers to be better informed and understand where and when sewer systems overflows are occurring. With climate change and even more extreme rainfall impacting Scotland, increased water runoff from roofs, and a loss of green space in communities, overflows are more important than ever to stop homes, streets and water treatment works being overwhelmed. They are designed to operate automatically as a relief valve for the sewer system during heavy rainfall or when the wastewater system fails, often caused by drain blockages from items like wet wipes being flushed. In 2021, Scottish Water committed to installing new monitors on its overflows as part of its Improving Urban Waters route map. Earlier this year, Environmental Standards Scotland also called for greater information and transparency on overflows. Scottish Water's new overflow map responds to this recommendations. Users will be able to search using a postcode, local authority area or water body to find out about overflow activity in any given location. Gillian Martin, Acting Cabinet Secretary for Net Zero and Energy, said, "I'm delighted Scottish Water has delivered on its Improving Urban Waters route map commitment to install 1,000 new overflow monitors by the end of this year. Our waterways are in good condition. SEPA classifies 86.5% of our water environment as high or good quality. This is up from 82% in 2014, and the sustained investment made by Scottish Water from 2015 to 2021 has been a key driver of the improvement. However, we are not complacent and want to see this improve further. Scottish Water's route map sets out a £500 million investment it will make to improve the quality of our waterways and enhance monitoring of the sewer network." And that report was by Julie Curry. Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyscotland@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Balkanise Britain. Sir, the SNP have been trying to rip Scotland out of the UK for as long as I can remember. I can think of many reasons why it would be a bad idea, including currency problems, the fact that we do 60% of our trade with the rest of UK, and the reality that we're unlikely to get back into the EU anytime soon. We also have an overly large public sector which has got to be funded, and we would have to take our fair share of the national debt, the annual interest on which would be a large sum. But as much as any, I do not want my friends and family in England to be living in a foreign country with border crossings, different passports and the like. Balkanising Britain in such a way is, in my opinion, a terrible idea. Yours, etc., Jack Watt, by email. Don't panic, make a plan. Sir, doing the rounds on social media at the moment is an illustration of the biblical story of Noah and his planning for severe climate change, which he knew was on the way. He used his innate skills as a human being to devise a way to adjust to the coming changes, having accepted that they were inevitable. This may be legend, but there is a guidance there for all decision makers in the 2020s. Rather than taxing the developed world until the pipsqueak and handing astronomical amounts of cash to the developing world to cope with climate change, why do we not follow Noah's example and thoroughly prepare for what is coming? It will cost infinitely less. Yours, etc., Alexander Mackay, address supplied. Check your hearing. Sir, the festive season is a time for connection and conversation, but for those with undiagnosed hearing loss, it can feel like a struggle to keep up. This Christmas, the RNID is encouraging everyone to look out for signs of hearing loss in themselves and their loved ones. Do you notice someone turning up the TV louder than others prefer? Do they struggle to follow conversations in noisy places like pubs or restaurants, or frequently ask people to repeat what they've said? Perhaps they find it hard to hear on the phone, feel like others mumble, or have a partner who thinks they're not listening. If any of these feel familiar, it might be time to check your hearing. The good news is that it is very easy to look for the signs of hearing loss in yourself and loved ones, and to do something about it. Taking our free simple check at rnid.org.uk can be the first step on your hearing journey. This Christmas, let's keep everyone part of the conversation. Yours, etc. Crystal Rolfe, Director of Health at RNID. Senseless. Sir, the numbers turning up in Whitehall to protest the farmers' inheritance tax row shows Labour has vastly underestimated the number of farmers affected. Good government should not make these mistakes, but if it does, then swift remedial action is required. Labour appear unmoved. This is not good government, it's more akin to dictatorial rule. This is a sad reflection on the state of politics both in the UK and even here in Scotland, where the SNP also likes to subject the population to unpopular policies. Where has all the common sense gone? Gerald Edwards, by email. Back hospitality. Sir, the recent revelations regarding the struggles of the Scottish hospitality industry following the SNP's budget decisions are alarming. As major venues face the prospect of scaling back operations, we witness a critical turning point that demands immediate government attention. John Swinney's administration must acknowledge that a vibrant hospitality sector is essential for our economy. It creates jobs, supports local agriculture and fosters community cohesion. Instead, his policies, characterised by high taxes and insufficient support, appear designed to stifle growth rather than to encourage it. To reinvigorate our economy and restore confidence among business owners, it is imperative our government takes proactive steps. By offering targeted support and reducing business burdens from taxation, we can provide the necessary lifeline to sustain our hospitality industry during these challenging times. We need to harness the potential of our local businesses and enhance Scotland's cultural appeal. It is time for the Scottish Government to act decisively. They must prioritise the support and recovery of our beloved hospitality sector before it's too late. Yours, etc. Alistair Marjorie, by email. Reader's Charter. This newspaper is built on a tradition of accuracy and fairness, giving you the information you need to understand our world, holding power to account and exposing injustice. Our trusted brand means we are the only place where you can read and participate in honest debates. We are committed to giving a voice to those who struggle to be heard, as well as those whose profession is crafting an argument. Our Reader's Charter spells out our commitment to you. You can read the Charter online at Kirkintilloch @jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk. Online Pandemic of Child Sex Abuse. Report by Julie Curry. Around 150,000 children in Scotland have been subjected to at least one form of online sexual abuse in the past year. That shocking statistic is according to new estimates by the Childlike Global Child Safety Institute. Amounting to the average of over 400 Scottish cases every day, the figures are more than 70 times higher than the number of cyber-enabled sexual crimes against children recorded by police. Childlight, hosted by the University of Edinburgh and established by the Human Dignity Foundation, said Police Scotland is playing a vital role in holding perpetrators to account and preventing further abuse. However, it claims the gap between victim estimates and police data on recorded Scottish cases is also evidence that the pandemic is too big for law enforcement alone. It believes the pandemic can be ended with more emphasis on preventative measures, including education, regulation and global collaboration. The figures are based on Childlight's Into the Light project, which examines the prevalence of online child sexual exploitation and abuse. Childlight's Director of Data, Professor Deborah Fry, said the research should be useful to policymakers and practitioners. She added, "The police only see the tip of the iceberg. We know from all the research we've done that many children will never tell anyone and the abuse will remain hidden. When the Scottish population of 755,914 children aged 5 to 17 is applied to data across Western Europe, 150,000 children are estimated to have been victims of non-consensual taking, sharing or exposure to sexual images and videos in the past year. That's enough children to fill Hampden Stadium almost 3 times over. Childlight also estimates that nearly 90,000 children in Scotland, 12%, have experienced online solicitation in the past year, such as unwanted sexual talk, which can include non-consensual sexting, unwanted sexual questions and unwanted sexual act requests by adults or other use. In contrast, only 2,055 cases of online child sexual exploitation and abuse were reported to Police Scotland between April 2023 and March 2024. Paul Stanfield, Childlight Chief Executive, said, "I've been approached by people who have kept experiences of child abuse to themselves for over 50 years. They're not going to the police to report it, but they're telling me that they're only beginning to tell their families today after 50 years. Unfortunately, because there's no regulation on the internet, it really is the Wild West. Anything goes. Social media is a key enabler, and offending has grown exponentially as a result. Child sex offenders have been provided with a platform by which they can come together. Online child sexual exploitation and abuse can take many forms, including sexual extortion, where predators are blackmail victims, demanding money to keep images private, and AI-generated deepfake images. Based on a representative sample of men from the UK, 7% reported engaging in online sexual offending behaviours with children in their lifetime." And that article was written by Julie Curry. "10th anniversary for same-sex couples." Scotland's Registrar General has congratulated the same-sex couples celebrating their 10th anniversary later this month. In 2014, the law was changed to allow same-sex couples to marry, with the first ceremonies taking place at the end of December that year. Between then and the end of September this year, 10,138 couples have since gone on to tie the knot. Registrar General Alison Byrne is Chief Executive of National Records of Scotland. She said, "I'm delighted to send congratulations to the couples who are shortly to celebrate their 10th anniversaries, having been among the first to marry under the new law. These figures show how the collection and analysis of routine statistics allows us to tell the ever-changing story of Scotland's people. Analysis of the figures up to the end of September this year shows that same-sex marriages have taken place in all 32 of Scotland's local authority areas." And that article was unattributed, and it was read by me, Iain McKenna. Church news. Send your emails to kirkyscotland@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk. Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street. The coffee corner will then be closed over Christmas and New Year period, and will recommence on Wednesday, January the 8th. Our next Sunday service is at 4 p.m. on Sunday, January the 5th, and will be a New Year, New Start event with a lively programme featuring live music, topical quiz, the Birmingham Praise Band and guest speaker Brian Johnson. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. That's www.regenthall.org. And he will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 12. Springfield Cambridge Church. On Sunday, December the 29th, morning worship will be conducted by the Reverend Iain Taylor in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. This will be a service of lessons and carols. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come and enjoy the fellowship. The Sunday school meets in room 2, where creche facilities are also available. Morning worship has also been live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. The next vestry hour will be on Wednesday, January the 8th at 10 a.m, followed by our midweek service at 11:10 a.m. The Guild has invited the congregation to join them in supporting the Eastern Partnership Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard in the cloakroom. A list is attached to the cupboard identifying specific items specially requested. St James Church, Bishopbriggs. On Christmas Eve there is a Christingle service at 4 p.m, to which families are particularly welcome to come along and take part. At 11:15 p.m. that evening there is a watch night service of communion and carols. You are very welcome to come and join us at any of these services and experience the true meaning of Christmas. The communion service on Thursday, December 26 at 11 a.m. is cancelled. On Sunday, December the 29th, there is a communion service at 9 a.m. in the chapel and at 10:30 a.m. in the church with hymns. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea and coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are also other virtual services and groups. For up-to-date and further information, refer to our social media. Facebook, St James the Less, Bishopbriggs. Website, www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Lenzie Old Parish Church. The congregation of Lenzie Old Parish Church wish you a peaceful and happy Christmas and invite you to celebrate Christmas on Tuesday, December the 24th, 4 p.m, Christingle services for the whole family. 11:30 p.m. watch night service. 11 p.m. for mince pies and hot drinks. Sunday, December the 29th, 11 a.m. service led by Reverend Joan Ross. Kinmure Parish Church. Mrs. Margaret Russell will lead this Sunday's morning worship, beginning at 11 a.m. Visitors to the area will be made welcome when they join us for services. You can attend either in person or online via our YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as this is streamed or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kinmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. That's KENMURE Bishopbriggs. There will be a period of fellowship following the service in the hall when teas, coffees, juice and biscuits are served. The most up-to-date details of all our groups that are currently running may be found on What's On section of our website, kinmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kinmure Parish Church. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kinmurechurch@icloud.com. Lenzie Union Parish Church. You are warmly invited to our Christmas services. Tuesday, December 24th, 6:30 p.m. Christmas Eve family service with peace light. 11:30 p.m. Join watch night service at Lenzie Old with mince pies and hot drinks available from 11 p.m. Sunday, December 29, all age worship service at 11 a.m. The Meeting Place coffee shop and coffee pot is closed for Christmas holidays on December 11th. We wish all our customers a happy Christmas and a peaceful New Year and look forward to welcoming you again on Wednesday, January the 8th at 10 a.m. until 12 noon in the new hall. Home Church Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch, Home Church East End, Carmyle G32 8DP. And online, a church for all ages. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. Luke chapter 2 verse 1. Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Home church 6:30pm and 8pm. Home church Carmyle 11pm. Sunday, December 29, 9:30am and 11:30am. Worship service, followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you at either service, which will be identical. Home radio is available every day. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information for Carmyle and Kirkintilloch. Cadder Parish Church, beside the canal. For full details, please see our website www.cadderchurch.org. Our church services are videoed and recorded and are available from the church website. Tea and coffee served after each service. Coffee shop is open Tuesday to Thursday 10am to 2pm and Friday 10am to 12 noon in the South Hall. Food bank. If you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Early fellowship in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30am on Tuesday and Thursday is also on Zoom. Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship is also live streamed in the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found at www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and organisations can also be found. District News General. A sweet guy needs a new home. Snoopy is a sweet white cat looking for a cosy home. He is currently being cared for by the Scottish SPCA at Edinburgh and Lothian's Animal Rescue and Rehoming Centre. Like most cats, Snoopy prefers attention on his own terms. He loves playing with toys and jumping up onto beds and windowsills to watch the world go by. Snoopy may require outdoor access once settled. If you can give Snoopy his new home, please apply via the Scottish SPCA website www.scottishspca.org/rehome-a-pet. Could you give some spare time and volunteer with us? We have a range of activities you could get involved in. See the website for details. St Columba's Men's Club. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? So asked John Keats in his Ode to Autumn. Well, winter certainly is well on the way after a truly miserable summer. However, to ease the way towards the joys, maybe, of spring, as envisaged by Keats, the Men's Club may be an answer. At 7:30pm every Monday, St Columba's Men's Church meets in the Church Hall in Old Isle Road, Kirkintilloch, and offers a very warm welcome, together with the chance to play a bit of pool or snooker, dominoes, or even some table tennis for the more sprightly amongst us. If none of these appeal, how about a cup of coffee or tea and a chat? Our members come not only from Kirkintilloch, but also from Lenzie, Cumbernauld, Milton of Campsie and Bearsden. If you think this may be for you, and you would like more details, contact Iain Gibb on 0141 776 5453 or Jim Kennedy on 07767 124 416. Lark Piano Trio. Mulgai Music Club begins the new year part of its concert season on Friday, January 31st with the Lark Piano Trio. Tickets are available online from www.mulgaimusic.org. That's www.milgaviemusic.org. And that was this week's District News. £10 million bill racked up from train fare evasion. Report by Julie Curry. ScotRail is clamping down on people who deliberately try to avoid paying the correct fee for their journey. The train operator is taking further steps to tackle ticket fraud through a series of initiatives which aim to minimise ticketless travel and safeguard public money. From this month, an extra 69 ticket examiners will be in post, which will make it even more difficult for potential fraudsters to avoid paying the correct fare. It is estimated that around £10 million of public money is lost each year to fare evasion and fraud on ScotRail services, public funds that could otherwise be reinvested into improved services. The most common types of fare evasion ScotRail encounters include short journey claims, individuals purchasing tickets for shorter journeys, including online, but travelling further than their ticket permits, railcard misuse, passengers using discounted railcards they are not entitled to, or sharing personal railcards with others, self-service ticket machine abuse, customers exploiting or deliberately misusing self-ticket service machines to avoid paying the correct fare. To address these challenges, ScotRail implements a variety of targeted actions aimed at both preventing and catching fare evaders. These include increased ticket checks at stations, increased staffing, and the use of advanced data analysis to identify fraudulent behaviour. Monitoring of self-service ticket machine usage, along with regular audits, also ensures that any suspicious activity is swiftly investigated. ScotRail has increased the number of staff dedicated to revenue protection, adding more automatic ticket gate staff, on-train teams and revenue protection officers. These teams are tasked with carrying out comprehensive checks on tickets and fare compliance. They can set up temporary barriers at any station and conduct full ticket checks. They are authorised to take names and addresses for further investigation if passengers are found to be attempting fare evasion. Teams of revenue protection officers now patrol trains, in addition to existing on-train staff, focusing on known routes and offenders. They target repeat offenders and take appropriate action, which may include prosecution in several cases. This team generates around £2 million, which would otherwise have been lost each year from people who have been caught travelling without a valid ticket. Phil Campbell, ScotRail Customer Operations Director, said, "A small minority of passengers deliberately try to avoid paying the proper fare, but it's honest, fare-paying passengers who bear the burden of lost investment. Our goal is to ensure our genuine customers can travel without disruption, knowing that the fare system is fair and enforced. We are committed to ensuring everyone who uses our services pays their fair share." Technology advancements allow ScotRail to combine frontline staff reports with data such as sales records and historical ticket usage to detect fraud. In cases where fraud is identified, ScotRail calculates the total unpaid fare owed. In the past year, it has recouped £25,000 from people caught travelling fraudulently. And that report was by Julie Curry. How to tackle winter vomiting bug at home. NHS24 has issued advice about how to cope with norovirus, also known as the winter vomiting bug, after an increase in calls to the 111 service from people suffering from symptoms. Norovirus is a stomach bug that causes vomiting and diarrhoea. It can be very unpleasant but usually goes away in about 2 days. Symptoms include feeling sick, diarrhoea and vomiting. It can also give you a high temperature, headache and aching arms and legs. The bad news is norovirus spreads easily and quickly, and it's not always possible to avoid getting it. If you are unlucky, you should stay off work or school until at least 48 hours after the norovirus symptoms have stopped. Avoid visiting anyone in hospital during this time. Wash your hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water, particularly after using the toilet and before preparing or handling food. And be aware alcohol-based hand gels don't kill the virus. To avoid spreading norovirus, people should maintain basic hygiene and cleaning, such as disinfecting surfaces or objects that could be contaminated, using a bleach-based household cleaner. Clothes and bedding should be washed separately on a hot wash, 60 degrees Celsius, to ensure the virus is killed, and people shouldn't share towels and flannels. Toilets and surrounding areas should be cleaned with a bleach-based household cleaner. Dr. Ron Cook, NHS 24 Medical Director, said, "If you experience sudden diarrhoea and or vomiting, the best thing to do is to stay at home until you're feeling better. There's no treatment for norovirus, so you have to let it run its course, but you do have to make sure you drink plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration. Avoid giving fizzy drinks or fruit juice to children as it can make their diarrhoea worse. Babies should continue to feed as usual, either with breast milk or other feeds. You don't usually need to get medical advice unless there's a risk of a more serious problem. You can alleviate fever or aches and pains with paracetamol and try to get plenty of rest. If you or someone you're taking care of has signs of dehydration, like a dry mouth or dark urine, use rehydration drinks which you can get from the pharmacy." And that article was unattributed. As recorded on Tuesday the 24th of December, Sports section. An amazing year. Report by Lorna Thompson. As we edge near to the end of 2024, it's always good to reflect on the past year and what an amazing year we have had at Walk Run Cycle East Dunbartonshire, WRCED. Our members now sit at over 8,600, most of which are still predominantly East Dunbartonshire residents. This has created a warm, welcoming space for like-minded folk, whether it's online or in person at one of our countless meet-up events. Our volunteers facilitated 557 in-person events throughout 2024, averaging 10 a week. Monday meet-up, Wednesday #walk and talk, Tuesday and Thursday evening, and there is always weekend wonders on the schedule too. Our event schedule has something for everyone, ranging from our weekly Pass for All Health walk to big hill adventures and everything in between, including local and further away day trips. Some memorable ones have been Hairy Coo Trail, celebrating the 10th anniversary of the John Muir Way, with the challenge of lots of hills, loch and bridges. Some of us completed the Rob Roy Way and Fye Coastal Path, which bus trips to the Japanese Gardens at Dollar Glen, the Falkirk Whale and the Hermitage were all fantastic successes. Our Santa Dish in need of East Dunbartonshire Food Bank had another great turnout, raising £150, and our collaboration with Paths for All continues to be a great success. Every Friday at various locations around East Dunbartonshire, the Health Walk team meet for adventures. Every Tuesday at Bishopbriggs Evangelical Church, they come together for strength and balance sessions. These are chair-based exercise that aid mobility and independence, as well as creating a welcoming community. We had a successful Couch to 5k group who graduated in the Springburn Park Run. We even managed some social cycling events with a fantastic cycle to the Kelpies. We have lots of plans for more cycling events in 2025 now that we have trained some volunteers for specific bike leading training. The Remembering Together project was completed with around 12 benches around East Dunbartonshire being enjoyed, and I will be forever proud of WRCED's involvement in the legacy we are part of. We collaborated with Up and About Scotland, Co-op Time to Talk, Marie Curie National Day of Reflection, Friends of Campbell Park and the National Trust for Scotland. Meanwhile, the existing collaborations with Wild Venture Scotland, Aspects Mountaineering and Central Scotland Adventures also continued. Our bank of dedicated volunteers now sits at over 50, with most of them taking advantage of the optional training we offer in leader training and first aid. To get involved in hosting a walking, running or cycling event, please email wrced2020@gmail.com. And that report was by Lorna Thompson. Rossvale to take it one step at a time. Report by Brian Yule. Rossvale Women's boss, Julie McSherry, says it's a matter of taking it one step at a time as the team looks to reach the top tier of Scottish football one day. McSherry led her side to a League and Cup double last season as they won promotion from the Championship to the SWPL2. This put to bed the ghost of missing out on going up to the playoffs the year before. Rossville started life in the second tier with wins over Kilmarnock and St Johnstone, but have only picked up 3 points on one further occasion. They're currently third bottom as McSherry looks to avoid immediate return to the championship. She said, "I think in a way it was lucky to be lost in the playoffs because we weren't ready to go up then. I'm sure some people will look at us now and say we still aren't ready, but we have come a long way in those 12 months. I think when we started the season with those 2 wins, there may have been a feeling that back-to-back promotions were on the card. However, in my mind, survival was always the target, and that remains the case as we look to keep Ayr United and St Johnstone below us. It is all about taking things one step at a time. Our aim was to get into the SWPL 2. We did that, and now it's about looking forward. We lost recently in the Scottish Cup to Motherwell, and, in some ways, there's something of a template to follow. They also worked their way up the leagues, and are now basically an established top half side in the SWPL 1. Might not be here by the time it happens, but that is certainly where we aim to be eventually. However, without achieving stability, reaching that next level is close to impossible. If we have come up, only to go back down again, then we've really achieved nothing. The first task is to avoid relegation this season, then to become an established SWPL 2 side, and then to be in a position to push for promotion. As we take each step, it will allow the club to be able to grow so that one day we're able to face your Glasgow Cities of World on an equal footing." And that report was by Brian Yule. Ross says her focus remains with City. Leanne Ross says she is concentrating on being Glasgow City boss, despite being linked with the vacant managerial position of the Scotland women's national team. Pedro Martinez Losa was sacked after failing to lead the side to the Euro 2025 qualification. Scotland lost 2-0 in aggregate to playoff opponents Finland earlier this month, having also previously missed out in the 2023 World Cup. Losa was given a new contract by the SFA taking him through to the 2027 World Cup, but the decision was taken to part company with him now. He said, "I leave with fond memories and gratitude to my squad, backroom staff and the passionate supporters who have been unwavering in their backing. Scotland will always hold a special place in my heart, and I wish the team every success in the future." With the UEFA Nations League games scheduled for February, the recruitment process is already underway to find his replacement. Ross, who was Law's assistant, is one of the early frontrunners for the top job. However, she told BBC Scotland, "I'm focused on my job here at Glasgow City. That's always been the case. The national team, I love being involved with, but for me, I'm the Glasgow City manager. We need to follow the process and make sure we get the right person in place. We need to make sure we get the best out of the players we have going forward, because we have to get back into major tournaments. The players we have right now have to be playing on the biggest stage." And that report was unattributed. Athletics. The inaugural EAP and Indoor International Glasgow will take place in the Emirates Arena on Sunday, February the 2nd. The event is the first of its kind to be held in Scotland and will welcome top athletes from across the UK and Europe. It will also provide a fantastic opportunity for developing Scottish talent to compete on home soil. The action starts at 6 p.m. with the 60-metre sprint and hurdles, 200 metres, 400 metres, 800 metres, women, 1500 metres, men, 5000 metres, long jump, men, and high jump, women, all set to feature. Tickets costing £8.50 are now on sale by visiting www.ticketsource.co.uk/Scottish-athletics. Youngsters thriving in extra time. Report by Don Renton. The SFA Extra Time programme is having a huge impact in local communities the length and breadth of the country. The project is a joint initiative with the Scottish Government and the SFA, which aims to support local football clubs and trusts to provide before and after school holiday activity clubs for primary school aged children from low income backgrounds. The partnership, which was launched with the Scottish Government last year, was designed to increase the availability of childcare services whilst encouraging children to engage in sport and physical activity. By giving 3,000 children each week access to sport and other activities out with normal school hours, the funding will also help parents and carers to find employment and training opportunities. An investment of £4 million from the Scottish Government was divided across 31 participating football clubs and trusts, all of which have to go through an application process. Iain Christie, Community Football Projects Coordinator at the SFA, said, "Phase 1 ran from October last year to the end of March, and then we got funding for a second phase from April the 1st until March of next year. The programme has supported a wide range of clubs across the country, with a mix of urban and rural communities. It's really important. It's vital, and the impact that we've seen in what is a relatively short space of time is incredible. We've got the direct impacts that we were experiencing, such as increased access to organised activity and food provision to help tackle food poverty. But on the back of that, we're starting to see more and more indirect benefits emerge, such as a lot of clubs reporting improved school attendance and attainment for the children that are participating. Children are improving their social skills and therefore getting more involved in other community clubs, other sports clubs, other things like that. So the benefit and the impact that we've seen so far it's been absolutely brilliant. It's a relatively short period of time, and the more this programme grows, the more that impact will increase." And that report was written by Don Renton and read by Iain McKenna.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels, tune review, and to tell your friends about our service.